this video, we are looking at the concept of data collection. Previous video, we talked about data, the types of data, qualitative and quantitative. But in this video, we are looking at the concept of data collection. How do we collect data? What are the ways by which we collect data? Because we already know what data is. Data, which is a collection of information that is gathered through observation, measurement, survey, and so on and so forth. And now we are looking at the concept of data collection. So what do you understand by data collection? Data collection is the process of collecting and evaluating information or data from different sources to find answers to research problems, questions, evaluate outcomes, and forecast trend and probabilities. It is an essential phase in all types of research analysis and decision making, including that done in the social science, business, healthcare, education, etc. Accurate data collection is necessary to make informed business or academic decisions, ensure quality assurance, and keep research integrity. During data collection, the researchers must identify the data types and source of data and what method are being used. So in this video, we know that data collection is a way by which we collect and evaluate information from different sources in order to make an informed decision. And this note made us understand that accurate data collection is necessary in order to make an effective decision making. Yes, it is necessary in order to make an effective decision making. So let's take a look at the types of data collection. So we have primary data collection and secondary data collection, but here let's talk about primary data collection first. Primary data collection involves the collection of original data directly from the source. It involves the collection of the original data directly from the source or through direct interaction with the respondent. This method allows researchers to obtain first-hand information specifically tailored to their research objective. There are various techniques for primary data collection, which includes survey and questionnaire. As you can see, survey and questionnaire, it involves the researcher being present with the respondent or is in direct contact with the respondent in order to get the information specifically. So here, researchers design structured questionnaire or survey to collect data from individual or groups. This can be conducted through face-to-face interviews, telephone calls, mail, or online platform. As we can see that this survey and questionnaire made us to understand that it is a form of primary data collection because it involves the researcher being in direct contact with the respondent. And we also have interview. Interview involve direct interaction between the researcher and the respondent. They can be conducted in person, over the phone, or through video conferencing. Interviews can be structured with predefined questions, semi-structured, allowing flexibility, or unstructured, more conversation, more conversational. So the structured, semi-structured, and unstructured is a form of interview, and it is which falls under interview under primary data collection. And we also have observation. Researchers observe and record behaviors, actions, or events in their natural setting. This method is useful for gathering data on human behavior, interaction, phenomena without direct intervention. So observation, interview, survey, they are form of primary data collection. And we also have experiment too, is also a form of primary data collection, and focus group, which is also a form of primary data collection. Experimental studies involve manipulation of variables to observe their impact on the outcome. So researcher is in direct contact with the natural event, and even focus group, the researcher is in direct contact with the natural set. So let's take a look at the secondary data collection. Secondary data collection. Secondary data collection involves using existing data collected by someone. Primary data collection is the researcher being in direct contact with the person or the event, but in secondary data, it involves using existing data that is collected by somebody else for a purpose different from the original intent. Researchers analyze and interpret this data to extract relevant information. Secondary data can be obtained from various sources, include published source. Yes, published source or published books, they are a form of secondary data because it is not the researcher that was in direct contact with the event, but it was somebody who wrote the book that was in direct contact with the event. Then the researcher then collected the books, download the books for research analysis. So that is why published sources. Researchers refers to book, academic journals, magazine, newspaper, government report, and other published material that contain relevant data. And we also have online database. Numerous online database provide access to a wide range of secondary data, such as research articles, statistical information, economic data, and social survey. We can see that it is no doubt that these two they fall under secondary data collection because the researcher are not in direct contact with the natural event. They only read the book, the magazine, the academic journal, the government report from someone or the author who wrote the book. So let's move on to the following one. We have government and institutional records. Government agencies, research institutions, and organizations often maintain database or record that can be used for research purposes. So this also falls under secondary data collection. Publicly available data, yes, data shared by individuals, organization or communities on public platforms, website or social media can be accessed and utilized for research. Yes, and it's also a form of public secondary data collection. So we also have past research studies is also a form of secondary data collection. So let's take a look at the data collection tools. I think we've mentioned some of them in the previous videos. So now that we've explained the various techniques, let's now narrow our focus on even further by looking at some specific tools. For example, we mentioned interview as a technique, but we can further break that down into different interview types or two. We have sentence completion. Researchers use sentence completion to understand what kind of ideas the respondent has. So that this is also a form of data collection as it is a type of interview. We also have role playing. Respondents are presented with an imaginary situation and asked how they would act or react if it was real. Yes, that is a role playing and is also a form of data collection too. We also have in-person surveys. The researcher asks questions in person. It is a form of data collection tools. Online or web survey. The survey are easy to accomplish, but some users may be unwilling to answer truthfully, if at all. We have mobile surveys. These surveys take advantage of the increasing proliferation of mobile technology. Mobile collection surveys rely on mobile devices like tablets or smartphones to conduct surveys via SMS or mobile apps. We also have phone surveys and we also have observations. So all these are methods and ways of data collection. So we have various ways of collecting data as we mentioned before. We have measurement, we have questionnaire, we have interview, we have observation, and so on and so forth. We have so many data collection tools. So thank you so much. Let's move forward to the next video.